My father is a bar fight referee. Settling scores was a way of life. He owned the 1958 Gibson Flying V guitar. In his spare time, he was a rock star. His greatest hits were composed on my mother's body. There was something breathtaking about a punctured lung. How you break a woman's body like a midday fast and mold her into an invertebrate, an octopus who has no spine to stand up to a man. You see, women like my mother have mastered the art of hiding their scars long before the deceptive generation discovered Photoshop. So when you ask me in what language her sobs sounded like, I would say like a talking drum made out of stretched skin. I guess that's why they call it hide. My mother's tongue is not English or Yoruba or Isha. My mother's tongue is a livery, a trait that comes from swallowing so much of one's pride you forget how to spit it out, as if her Italian secretes its own amnesia. 25 years down the marriage, curtains drawn, looking through every window of opportunity only to admit that the future comes with a clenched fist, so no one knows what tomorrow holds. This language I speak has no room for promises. Isn't that why the alphabet can only keep 5 vowels? Isn't that why my father loved my mother with a consonanted love? It couldn't have been a coincidence that even grammar acknowledges that the past tense of ring is wrong. Somebody needs to tell these men that the matrimonial home is not a vet clinic and women should not be treated like animals. How a woman ends up being the one who grabbed the matic in the burning house eludes me. Suddenly, the fact that she was made from a broken rib becomes the bone of contention. You see, when my 10-year-old sister asks my mother what happiness means, she says, happiness is pointing a flashlight at the night sky, hoping it brightens up the world. The time is 9/11. My father comes home as high as the World Trade Center, his fist a flying Boeing. There are Talibans in our living room. How else does a heated argument start a fire? How else the Pentagon looks so much like my mother's face? You see, I don't know much about hijacked planes and Al-Qaeda missions, but I know about the night I stood up to the villain. That when the father, mother, and their son go to battle, we call it a nuclear war. I still remember how I cut him short with a kitchen knife, and now mother had to finish the sentence. Sometimes there is no silver lining to a mushroom cloud.
Let us go down the creeks for bodies unredeemed, for broken bones, guts, and gore and blood intermixed with oil deeply rooted in our soil, for a vanquished race and a stolen mace, for unemployed graduates with outstretched arms begging for arms before desperately picking up firearms, for pregnant teenagers and little girls married, for orphan children who hopelessly look up to soot-darkened skies as they bathe, eat, and drink from tainted pools of liquid gold. It is a crude way to die. It's our cruel way of life. We fill our empty bellies with laughter and close our bloodshot eyes to dreams of better days in better places where we become kings of our own realities, and thieves no longer steal our nights nor fill our eardrums with tall tales by moonlight like story. Once upon a time, we were told of a change. A paradigm shift of power like narrow notes in the hands of impatient passengers in the pockets of dirty conductors conducting a choral cacophony of foul-mouthed men that mutter incoherent prayers for leaders they curse at day, men that curse and pray, men that hold the truth, men who never knew the importance of voting booths. Let us go down to the creeks of angry deities where we call on thunder to fire people as we count our laws. But how come thunder is silent when we are told stories meant for gods like story, once upon a time? Can't you see that men have become gods and gods have become us? And when I say us, I don't include myself in the exclusive caucus of men who exclude the minority who in truth are the majority of the masses. The same caucus of men that crept up in the dark night of our conscience, stole our youth, seized our voice, sealed our lips with coins, but filled our pockets with stones so we could drown in rivers of white lies and black noise. They called us the leaders of tomorrow, but told us we were too young to lead, Then sent us bare feet and exposed buttocks to retrieve ballot boxes we were made to steal. Alaye jo. This starved generation is fed up. We will no longer open our eyes and shut our mouths. Your sticks and stones might break our bones, but nothing will prepare you for the fatality of this fragile words.
Let's teach us how it is fought, how it is won. I know I said you're dead and gone, but I believe in resurrection. So if you be dear Lazarus, baby, I am Jesus. Come forth, baby. Come forth.